So you're thinking about making a move to Alberta from another province or from outside of Canada, wherever that might be. I'm sure you have plenty of questions about the move and if it's a good idea or not. And I'm hoping in this video we can help answer some of those questions that you might have. My name is Brad Walker. I'm a local realtor here in Airdrie, Alberta, just north of Calgary. And in this video, we're going to talk about 5 things that you should probably know before you make the move out here to Alberta. And if you could please do me a huge favor and hit that like button below for the YouTube algorithm, and let's just get right into it. And these 5 things are things that clients of mine who actually have made that move to Alberta have told me were things that they wish they knew or didn't fully know about before moving here. So these are not exactly from me, but from my personal clients that have told me these things when they've moved to Alberta. So first things first, and this one might be a bit obvious, but of course you need to know where you're wanting to live in the province. I mean, it's an entire province, so there are a lot of options based on what's best for you and your family. You want to live in a big city, a small town, or out on an acreage somewhere or somewhere else like that. Now, a good way to start narrowing this down is looking at the big cities and working your way out of them from there. Now, of course, we have our 2 big cities here in Alberta, Edmonton and Calgary, and there's pros and cons to each of these cities that we aren't going to go over in this video, but there are plenty of videos comparing the 2 big cities on YouTube, so you can just search those up and see the comparison between Edmonton and Calgary. And if you want the big city life, then it's just a matter of deciding between these 2 cities, but if you want a smaller city, then you'll be branching out a little bit more with plenty of other options around both cities and a few small cities that are not close to one of those big cities. Again, looking to YouTube, we have a lot of different small city options here in Alberta to compare these different cities. We actually have a video on the channel here that compares Airdrie, Lethbridge, and Red Deer, which are the 3 biggest small cities in the province right now. So do your research, look at all the videos that you can or other information that you can look at for any of these cities, but if you're able to, I would really suggest that you plan to come out to Alberta for a week or 2 if possible and explore some of the cities and some of the towns in person to get a good feel of which one might be a good fit for you and your family. Of course, if you're not able to do that, then there is a ton of information on YouTube and Google, and you can go that route. But if you can make it out here just as an exploratory trip, I definitely suggest that you do that. So first things first, you have to nail down where you want to live in the province. I think too many people have FOMO'd their way into their move to Alberta without really exploring the area that's best for them, and then they're not happy with their new home and wish they would have chosen somewhere else. So really be sure that the town or city you choose is where you want to be. Now, the second thing you should know before moving here is that the people in Alberta are a lot more friendly than in other places, especially if you're coming from a bigger city like Toronto or Vancouver. Now, I personally never knew this, having lived in Alberta my whole life, but the more out-of-province buyers that I work with, the more I'm told this exact thing. So don't be surprised when someone gives you a smile and a hello when you're walking down the street. There's a good chance they aren't flirting with you, they're just Albertan apparently. Or don't be alarmed when someone holds the door open for you while you're still 30 feet away and you have to awkwardly run to the door so they're not waiting there holding it open for you. That's just a pretty standard kind, slightly awkward interaction that's very common here in Alberta, and that's not the only one. So that's just something that you should know before you make your way here to Alberta, is it looks like we're just nicer here. And I'm moving on to the third thing that you'll want to explore before the move here is the affordability. If you're coming from the heart of Vancouver or Toronto, then pretty much anywhere in Alberta is going to be more affordable than where you're currently living. But if you're coming from another province or far out from one of those cities, then you may find that Alberta has varying affordability compared to where you're at currently. Now, just like most places, we have a huge range of property values here in Alberta, with Calgary being the most expensive area, but the further you go out of the big city, the more affordable things like housing will become. For example, 10 minutes out of Calgary here in Airdrie, just to the north of Calgary, you'll find better prices on homes, but if you go a bit further, another 10 minutes to Crossfield or another 20 minutes to Carstairs, housing gets even more affordable. Now, we do a cost of living video on this channel every single year to give you the basic costs that you can expect when living here, so be sure to go check that one out if you're interested in learning more about the cost of living here in 2024. And now into number 4, and this is one that I've been told by nearly every buyer I've worked with from BC and Ontario. and that is they weren't prepared for our sun here in Alberta. Now, it's pretty widely known that Calgary is the sunniest city in Canada with over 330 days of sun per year, but what a lot of people have told me is that they weren't expecting the sun to be so intense and bright here. I've had a couple people who actually had to make a stop during showings to get a pair of sunglasses for the rest of the day. And again, being from here, I can't attest to this one too much because this amount of sun is all I know, but it's been something that I've been told many times. So if you're coming out here to explore the area, bring your sunglasses and your sunscreen. And now onto our last point in this video, and the number 5 thing that you should know before moving to Alberta is you should know who you want to work to help you find your home here in the province. And whether you're buying or renting a home, it's good to have a local contact that can answer your questions and help guide you to where might be the best fit for you and your family. Now, I'm a local realtor here in Airdrie, Alberta, and I serve a pretty wide radius around Airdrie, including Calgary and all the other cities and towns around here. But if you're more interested in another area of Alberta, such as the Edmonton or Red Deer areas, then still please reach out and I can connect you with a great local area expert in any area here in Alberta. And if you plan to find a rental home to live in first, I can connect you to a great property manager as well, anywhere in the province that can help you find that rental for you. Well, that does it for the 5 things you should know before moving to Alberta, and I know there's more, but for this video we just did the 5. Please go ahead and comment below any questions that you might have, or if you've made the move to Alberta from somewhere else in the past, comment something that you didn't know before moving here that might be good for other people to know as well. Those comments from people that have already made the move here can be really helpful for those that are still deciding and watching this video. And again, my name is Brad Walker, local Airdrie Realtor with Redline and Real Broker, and we'll see you in the next video.